Hello and welcome back to the Sim Only RTG, where we're trying to keep things as realistic as possible to boot with Lincoln City. Not gone spectacularly well so far, but I'll take 15th, I guess, as we try and work out the best tactics that the AI can deal with. There has been a patch. Don't know how it really affects this. That fact obviously actually dates when I've recorded this and the previous ones. So there are 4 games in September, and I think we're only going to sim the extra away one. We do home against Bristol Rovers because we have not had a huge amount of home games, and we'll definitely do home against Mansfield because they're sort of a rival, and Huddersfield exists too. As one of the more potent teams in this division, particularly Huddersfield away, it's a tough fixture. Also the Cadamarteri link with Huddersfield. I say Huddersfield link. His father did play for Huddersfield, but the link actually isn't as strong as I thought it was. But I was told by my stepdad that Cadamarteri Sr. was at the Huddersfield away game in real life, and well, his son scored against Huddersfield, so he did have to kind of announce that, which I guess mixed feelings. But anyway, let's lock in, and not really anything to do. Bristol Rovers, I think they'll count as 4-2-3-1 or 4-5-1, something like that. Jeffries is on international duty for this specific game as well. You probably won't see much of the spreadsheet in this one because all the admin's essentially sorted. What? Why is it? What? Hang on, 1 second. Why is it showing me a completely different formation? That's not the formation that we play. Why are you showing me this formation? That is not our formation. This is our formation. This is a perfectly working game. And now it says Bayliss doesn't understand his position. He was all right there before. I think he's also gone up to 66. I think he was 65. Kits are fine. Their away kit will do them okay there. So we need to replace Jeffries on our side of things. Yes, I'm trying to replace the person. Oh, for God's sake, do I have to? That is such a dumb restriction. I know he's on international duty. I'm just trying to replace him with a player that's on the bench, and then I'll take him out of the bench. For the love of God, EAFC, do you not understand that I know that's the case? I'm going to put McGrandles on for him and then replace McGrandles with Early. That's so stupid. Might just do the... Cadamarteri's not at full fitness, but just for the sake of actually having someone who can play left back on the bench, and then I'll swap actually McGrandles with Draper. I think everyone seems to be okay fitness levels wise apart from Cadamarteri, but we'll leave him on there. You can do that role. House is good at that role now as well. As for their team, I'll be honest, actually, it looks fairly okay. Left back might be the only question mark, just to see if they've got anyone better for that position. But they've got Soterio. And Guidetti. Okay. There's a 66 rated striker on the bench, so tell me if that's wrong, Bristol Rovers fans, but I apologise if I said Bristol City at any point so far. Is likely I have. Yeah, Mola left back. There we go. All right, so changes for us. Cadamarteri and House lead the lineup. Just decided at the last moment to make sure Hackett was on the bench because he can play left back. With Jeffries on international duty, figured it probably actually worthwhile having someone there on the bench rather than in the starting lineup, having both of them being tired out. By the time I probably want to take Early off late on. But it is effectively the first 11 apart from Jeffries. It's not actually a super unrealistic outskirts for the LNER Stadium. It is in very much a developed area of Lincoln, surrounded by other buildings. If anything, the trees are the misnomer, but our 5-back remains. It's incredible how short a time this is on screen compared to the other version of the lineup, but it is 4-2-3-1, although it appears to be narrow 4-2-3-1 according to the graphics there. But I think that's wrong because I changed their lineup and they did have wide players, so it is a wide formation. I think that's just a little misleading on the graphic. Oh my God, they fixed... No, not quite. I thought they fixed the responsiveness of being able to actually click through these faster. At the very least, it's only taken me 90 in-game seconds to do it, opposed to 2.5 in-game minutes. That was a full 60 in-game seconds faster. I don't know what that translates to real time, but it's an early corner for Bristol Rovers. It was slightly more responsive. I'll take what I can get. But as I say, I have no idea how this patch works for this. I'm slightly concerned with our high line because one of the big things with this patch is defenders not being able to catch up to pacey attackers as much. Now, obviously, League One strikers aren't necessarily the paciest to begin with, so it might not be too much of a problem. Simultaneously, it'll work in our favour in that sense as well if we've got any particularly pacey strikers. I'm thinking of Hackett, actually, who are not playing right now. Cadamarteri turns and gets snuffled out. Conte. There's a few players like that with... I think that actually was the one I was thinking of. Former Leeds player, maybe? With that kind of EH suffix on their name that I can't help but pronounce in a Yorkshire manner. Conte. Now, as offside for the Bristol Rovers man there. I feel like playing in green can be a bit of a cheat code in these games. Because If I was the one controlling Lincoln, I would struggle to see their kits. Nonetheless, it is Bristol Rovers' possession right now. Now, just look at the formation. It's definitely 5 back. That's not an issue. It does look like it's the correct formation. Just want to make sure it wasn't weirdly reverting or whatever as soon as we got into the actual game. But McCormick does a good turn there and gets a chance off. Sees it past the post, but chance nonetheless. Bailey's good take, actually. I thought he was absolutely going to get robbed of that ball. As Alex Scott provides updates on League One fixtures, because that's realistic. Bayliss, House, goal, offside. No, it did that thing again where kind of all the other players stopped apart from the person who scored. And it just confused me enough that I wasn't celebrating entirely. But that is a goal scored, which we've not seen a huge amount of, quite frankly. House puts that one to bed, and hopefully we can kick on now. 15 minutes on the clock. To bed. To bed was probably the wrong terminology to use there. So much of this game to go. Deriqua. Bayliss. Hahan. He's not French, but like, again, it's one of those ones. I just can't not pronounce it in a certain way. Thomas. You know what I just realised I don't think I've seen? The scout report from the youth report from this person in Scotland. That should have come through a few days after the scout report from the chap in England, which didn't work. I feel like it should be in by now. Maybe it's today. Maybe it'll come in through once this game's done. McCormick. He moves to Martin now. Bristol Rovers looking a bit dangerous, but I'll be honest. I felt comfortable when he struck it. I felt less safe once it went towards the goal. It felt like a rough effort, and then it sort of floated dangerously towards that top corner, and I slightly panicked. Let's hoof that one up. That is actually aimed at Bayliss, and he does get to it. Bayliss weirdly competent in just getting the ball under control from those long goal kicks. Wish you could instruct them not to do that. Like that's the one instruction from FM, although admittedly in FM they never listen to you anyway. That's the one instruction from FM that does need to make its way into this. I suppose it's because you're usually in control of the goal kicks. You don't normally have to tell the AI what to do. House. I guess it's one of those things they kind of overlook on the basis that they assume that you're going to be playing the games. Oh, that's a great move. Oh, it's a terrible finish. He's 8 yards out and he smashed it wide. What an incredible pass. How has he missed the target from there? Shambles, really. Bayliss actually gets their goal kick under control as well. House can turn. That was an interesting ball. Cadabateri still in and he gets to it. Unexpected flair from the striker there. McCormick. Forward to Martin. It's a great run, actually. And weird subsequent pass. Erhon. I've not seen a huge amount of Arala, actually. It has to be said in this game so far. He's got the overlap run on the left, but Cadabateri's going to go from distance. It's tame. Sinclair does 2 players in at once there. McCormick holds the ball up, though, so it gives us a chance just to recover. As Mola accepts the recovery outright to Thomas. Early, doesn't really I don't think he actually tackled there. He just ran into him. But that recovery of possession is recycled all the way up to Erhan again now. Irala, forward pass to Cadamateri, strikes. Oh, it's slightly bundled and then it kind of magnetised to his glove. I think we feel a little bit hard done by there. I feel like that looked like it was going to be spilled. Bristol Rovers have had a few chances and here's another. Palmed safely into the path of early, thankfully. Just enough time to maybe get the ball up there into the pitch one last time in this half. Cadamateri tries to turn. Oh, does turn. House, just play it long enough so we can get a chance and he's offside, I think. Smashes at the goalkeeper. And then it's a penalty. He's not offside, but that's the most blatant penalty I've ever seen. He basically just punched him in the chest. I mean, it's entirely accidental from the game engine, but we'll take the penalty nonetheless. He was just standing up and got in his way. House buries the penalty as well. 2 goals for House. Slightly cocky celebration, considering it's a penalty. Only 65 penalties, but enough to bury that one convincingly. Probably trying to ask me to take off Deriqua, isn't it? I'm going to ignore that. That'll probably be the last action of this half, and it is indeed. House at the double, and on the ball immediately off kickoff. Interesting ball back to Arala, which sort of ends up in fortunate, but he gets to him. I mean, Cadamateri, he had so much time. It's a good finish considering, because he kind of received it facing the wrong way. But this is the Lincoln City I was expecting to maybe inherit here. It's taken us a little while to get it all worked out, but I had to turn to smash that in. It's a great finish, actually, because there's a closing set of defenders. He had to do that quickly. But they're defending so deep. And finally, after all of his shots over the first few games, he finally puts one in the net. I think he might have scored in a sim game. I can't remember. But as our 2 rivals are going at it in the background, Peterborough and Mansfield, I am quite confused by Bristol Rovers here. I'm not going to lie. They're playing so deep, both in attack and defence for some reason. That kind of ends up in Griffiths' hands fortunately. So yeah, attacking wise, look at this. They've only really got the striker. Finally, McCormick comes forward and does get it to Martin, but he has no support. I mean, I'm not going to complain, but they've absolutely got this game plan wrong. And yeah, that's not as good there, Bailey, is it? 8 shots to their 1 on target. Sorry, we've had 8 shots on target. That's a decent game for their goalkeeper, actually, despite the fact he gave away the penalty. Ah, here we go. There's their second shot on target. So Early's knackered and Hackett comes on. This is exactly why I left him on the bench. And this is where things get questionable at left back because he can't defend. He can play defender, but he can't defend. Jericho gets in the way there. He can defend. Interesting ball. Arala hoops. I mean, that's even worse, frankly. Cormick finds Martin eventually. That's a good touch and move, but he's got work to do and gets the shot off. Defenders are still a little bit just ball watching, which I'm not a huge fan of. Bakama plays poacher. Arala's actually really tired. We'll get Hamilton on there. Jarika's really tired. We'll get Hamera on there as well. And Bailey versus House. House is on a hat-trick. Best not take him off, actually. McCormick dinks that in. Hammer clears. Only as far as Collington. House. Oh, House gets a foot in and we get away, maybe. Moylan. Oh, if he just released the ball then when McCarmer was still in his own half, he couldn't have been offside, but makes a mess of that. We get to build another attack, though. Hamilton dinks inside. This is McCarmer. Has to decide which way he wants to go. Ends up absolutely getting none of them. But House is there. It's a tame shot. Oh, Molar's made an absolute mess of that. House gets another go. That's a spectacular save from Griffith that time. Oh, interestingly, they seem to have more players forward now. Forward. Martin, if he's onside, that's a really good run from Martin. That was a chance to get one back at least. House. Great ball to McCarmer. Oh, the finish isn't quite so good, though. I don't think we have any left-footed strikers. As Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s Grant Ward comes on. It's not how I remember him. Yeah, Bristol Rovers definitely have more numbers forward now. They've kind of got 2 strikers with Ford and Martin, or 2 people playing strikers at least, and then 2 in support behind them. It's almost looking like a 4-2-2 for Bristol now. But Moylan avoids the incredible sliding challenge there. House is onside. I'm not sure I've seen a worse attempt so far. Absolutely scuffs that. 5 minutes on the clock. We could do with something to get our goal difference back up a bit. Though actually the big loss came in the Bristol Street Rovers, didn't it, against Birmingham. But McCarmer has 2 players in support. Moylan. House is definitely offside this time. Hamilton nicks that ball off Ward. It's not a great decision from them. Although, gets absolutely leathered by Senior there. That's actually a really good ball to Ford, and that should have been better on the volley. Superb camera angle there, guys. Well done. Well, with only 2 minutes of injury time, I feel like the wind's definitely on. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, but, you know. Moylan. House. Can he get a hat-trick? He's giving it to McCarmer, who's then smashed it wide again. I mean, this could have easily been 5-6-7. But in the end, it ends 3-0. A victory and a clean sheet. Neither of which have been in huge numbers so far. Mansfield did beat Peterborough away from home. O'Connor didn't manage too many disruptions. Probably because he didn't have to do much. I think scout reports are balked. I'm just going to have to hold off on scouts because that one's broken as well. So I'll see if this renewed scouting project from Wallace actually brings in players or not and doesn't come up with a null situation. But otherwise, we're going to have a problem with this. 3-5-2, supposedly from Exeter. Everyone seems fine for this, so we'll just quick sim. 1-1. Baylis bails us out. With Jones goal in there first half. Exxon Birmingham 1-1. Hackett grows to 67. Are they saying that he's not going to go any higher than 67? Yes, that's exactly what they're saying. Interesting. Well, Grant was also capped out at 63 apparently. Rico obviously capped out, he's 32 at 67. And Jackson at 65. So plenty of people with a little bit of room to grow still. It is a relatively young squad, aside from those pair. Apparently it's £40,000 to go to Exeter from Lincoln. I mean, it's far, but £40,000. As it says there, new clash in the Lincoln-Mansfield rivalry. This is a relatively big deal. I like the fact that people lose just enough morale that I can then just boost it back up again every single press conference without them getting overconfident. So essentially, actually, Mansfield are predicted to line up exactly the same way. So this might be an interesting matchup. Different style of play, though. Well, after a victory here last time and a point on the road last week, we return to the Early Stadium with 4 points from 2 games. It's progress. We line up the way you expect now. I believe Monsma and Jeffries have both gone up a point in the meantime. We obviously noted that Bayliss recently and Hackett, we got the email about, but I think Monsma and Jeffries have also grown 1 point, and they line up with exactly the same formation with roughly similar rated players, actually, all around the 65-66 mark. This is a relatively evenly contested match in terms of just straight up potential and ability. Yeah, slightly higher in the table. That's a new record. It was only 50 seconds on the clock. Yeah, that's definitely improved. Irala turns. Hacket's offside by a mile. Promising early attack, though, even if we just fumbled it at the last. Didn't really appreciate how wrong-footed Monsma got there. Well, that could have been easier. I sort of just watched that ball float to the back post in horror, knowing in full well that they weren't going to jump for it. It just floats to the back, and I just knew that Dorica was absolutely in the wrong place for that. I shouldn't have been Dorica that was challenged for that. It should have been Monsma backing into it, rather than Dorica trying to go through Liam Shaw from behind. Like, I'm doing the 5-back, to honour the real-world link. What the hell is Rico Hackett doing here? I mean, that's goal of the season if that goes in. Dorica, can you make up for your mistake there? Bacchus. It's still Bacchus. Gone for another cross. This time it just goes straight through, and Dorica doesn't have to bother to jump this time round. Thank God. And McLaughlin slides in. Lovely. Cadamarteri coming deep a lit. Slightly weird that Aloni has the number 9, isn't it? Hackett's absolutely bundled off that. I believe that's going to be a free kick. Just blimey. Couldn't really be much closer if it tried. Good opportunity, this. If he doesn't smash it straight at the goalkeeper. Follow-up. Somehow the follow-up was kicked straight into the wall as well. Bayliss. Space. No one on the follow-up. That's where you're supposed to run in, Cadamarteri. Bayliss gets that one, though. Hackett has space. Him with yet another save. Their goalkeeper very much keeping them in it. Monster does get his head on that. I think that's the first time I've actually seen one of our players actually get under a corner. Reed. And now Mansfield come forward. Oh, that is depressingly easy. George Wickens rightly annoyed there as blocks keep us in it now. I have no idea who did the blocks, but blocks occurred multiple times there. There was a lot of rebounding back to them. Bit of a break on here if we can get the ball forward. No, we can't. Because, you know, that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Cadamarteri in dangerous positioning here. Nope, never mind. Mansfield's turn to be dangerous. Kind of. Irala on the attack. Hackett passes it to absolutely nobody. Good interception from Merhon. Good turn from Bayliss. Good pass to Hackett. Terrible finish. We're back to everything being really good until the final decision. That was quite off target. Cajon, Bayliss, Dorica. If you can find Bayliss again here, or just run past everyone. That works too. And then put a really bad cross in. Does find Cadamarteri. Irala! That should have been the equaliser. That, had it been a couple of inches to the right, should have been the equaliser. We're making chances, but that's the first time we've made good decisions in the final third. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dorica's cross was terrible, but we made the most of it. Bacchus. Once again, this dates when I'm recording it, but I've kicked up Ultimate Team again pre-Totti, and it was weird just seeing an 84 rated Dorica staring back at me, especially since we can't seem to defend here. Never mind 84. Feels like 44 rated. That is a shame. Good turn from Morala. Still Jeffries. Goes for Erhon as the choice. Out to Bayliss, does mug off the 2 Mansfield players at once. Cadamarteri first time. Not gonna lie, thought that might catch the goalie off guard. Roughing to put this ball in. It's not great. 3 minutes added on. Erhon. Stop doing it first time, Bailey. You had the time. You could have taken a touch to settle yourself. He loves to take a shot on the turn, does Cadamarteri, doesn't he? This might be one last attack from Mansfield in this half. Well, we do get a foot in, but this still stays in their possession because of course it does. Get away with that. For whatever reason, got stuck on a completely different camera after half-time. Managed to get it back, though. Hackett, smothered. O'Connor does some defending, which feels like a novelty. Not his fault, it's just whatever the AI decide to do in this formation, seemingly. I had that problem with Luton. Just never felt like the centre-backs did tackling. Bayliss finds Irala, though. Cadamarteri, there's a great chance for Hackett on this left-hand side if he'd seen it. What is he doing? Day late and a dollar short, as Martin Brundle would put it. Irala, we are just being outplayed in every respect right now. It's so strange because we've had chances. We've just been terrible in attack. Although, in terms of just putting the ball in the net. What are we doing? O'Connor will get to that one, thankfully. We're in the 60th minute and actually really nothing's happened in this second half. Why is Jeffrey sad about playing left back now? What? Oh, we've changed formation. That might explain some things. Activate our actual tactic, please. I don't understand. I mean, Cadamarteri's still coming forward. What is happening here? Bayliss smashes it at defender. They get fortunate. As Mansfield cut us apart again. Bayliss with the ball forward. There is a slight chance to counter here. If Kadamateri can get the ball from out under his feet, that'd be great. Back to Hackett. Back to Kadamateri. That's from distance. And it's not even going to be a corner. Tariq has hunted this ball all the way across the field. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Get back in right back. Though it might not matter because there might be a shot here. No, we're okay. 3 people on him. Please get the ball. Hahon misjudges the flight of the ball. Oh, that might have been a Rala, actually. Gregory. Oh, well. At least we get the subs. I feel like the formation's changed again. Oh, that's them in again. No, good save, Wickens. I'm honestly this close to deciding to go on a custom format because I don't like our high line, and I feel like it means we don't put tackles in for whatever reason. But I have to commit to the high line, otherwise I don't get Gegenpress as a system. Good fit in by Erhan, but once again, they're there. Like, Mansfield have done everything that Bristol Rovers haven't done, pretty much. As soon as they get the ball, they have numbers in attack. Moylan takes over. Can we get at least one consolation goal? I don't expect the draw. I mean, that's a good ball to Hamilton. He's going to shoot from there, isn't he? Hamilton finds Kadamateri. I really thought that was going to be 2-1. Oh, Hackett with a chance. That came out a little bit of nowhere. Moylan. Hamilton, edge of the box. Smashes it at 2 Mansfield players. That was always going to be difficult. Early. I don't know why he had no options there. Hamilton. Short options, I mean. Sorry, Erhan. Just... What are you doing, mate? The intelligences of artificial intelligence completely disappearing there momentarily. Has absolutely wiped out. But Kadamateri, oh, it should have been a goal. And it had been an excellent one had it gone in. Once again, 5 shots for Kadamateri, no goals. I've never known a player to have so many shots without scoring. You might even get a stick off here. Yeah, it's not a great one, but I feel like we might be destined for mid-table. A lot of away wins, actually, this particular game week, by the looks of things. So maybe we shouldn't be 10,000 turned up for this particular one. 10,500 in fact, so that's a big match day payday of 176,000 thereabouts. A slight boost on share sales as well. We'll just pop over to the spreadsheet briefly here just to see that go in there. That is the biggest match day so far of the 3 home games we've played by a margin. Brings us up to 1.4. Actually, also while I'm on this, I did completely forget to mention this in the earlier videos, but between your squad list and the rest of this page on your individual seasons, I have actually put the ability to record that season's results. Now, obviously, your squad list will change every single year, and you won't be able to stick this here forever. You might be able to just copy and paste as values, and then that will stay there permanently rather than auto-filling once you go forward. So you might be able to put this all in just manually without it being auto-filled in, but I'm not quite sure how that works. I think, obviously, if you just remove the formula on the first row and then you just paste all the names back in again, you could keep this there forever. But you can record the individual statistics per season in this gap here. But for the time being, we just hide them so you can see the whole thing. I just wanted to make sure there was a way to just look back per season. The way I'll probably do it is I'll probably just take a screenshot of that particular season at the end of the year and then just stick that on this page somewhere, just so I've got it. Because obviously the squad tracker is cumulative, it's not per season. Just so I have that ability to look back on the particular season and go, oh yeah, who was the standout that year? I forgot to mention that addition. We're all up to date now. 532 from them as well. Okay, there's the audio. I was wondering where my audio had gone there, but off to Huddersfield we go. Player to watch... Healy, 6 goals. Only second to Crawley's John Jules. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have made tactical tweaks. I've obviously abandoned the entire just pressing default. I'm hoping some more specialised role choices help boost us. But it is 5-3-2 from them. Coroma and Healy up front. And 5-3-2 from us. So I'm going with Kadamateri and Ben House up front again because I haven't been overly convinced with Hackett as a striker. But he's on the bench. Kadamateri. By the time I got my camera sorted out, we've got an attack going. Nichols makes a good save. It was a bit slow at that time. I know that's what you're here for. The race to get the camera sorted. I wish there was a way you could set it as a default, really. Speaking of which, I've forgotten to make sure I changed my corner takers as default. And it's Huddersfield's turn to charge. The dangerous Healy there. Back to him again. Chroma's offside, is he not? Or was that just excellent timing? Excellent timing, he was onside. Bayliss once again successfully claims that. Hahon finds Arala. Has Bayliss in support. House moves to the left. Goes some distance. If I'm not mistaken, actually, Lincoln won this fixture in real life. As I mentioned, Kadamateri did score against his dad's former team. In fact, it might well have been Lincoln's last good result in real life at the point of recording. Jeffries, Arala. Back to Jeffries. Kadamateri. Bayliss. Well, the run of Jeffries did confuse the defender there. It did open up the pass, but sadly the attacker didn't make the good run. I don't like where my defenders were there temporarily. We got away with it. Oh, no. That was easy as you like for Josh Karoma. I just want to know what setting. What setting just makes my defenders not morons? Because I haven't found it yet. Don't get me wrong, this is always going to be difficult. They are third in the table, Huddersfield, and oh dear. But we really don't have to make it easier for them if we can avoid it. Karoma plays it into high, and wide. The long punt forward does get it to House, actually. That's a good one. And House, well, I mean, he's going to try from there. Sure. Forces Nichols into a save at least. God knows what Tariqa was doing there, but back to Kane and I can't cope with this insane lack of defending. Go towards the person with the ball, you morons. They've gone from ball watching to actively running away from it. I mean, anytime you like, Lewis. There we go. Bayliss finds House. Good ball to Cadamarteri, actually. Really good ball. He rather tries to take over and fails. Huddersfield corner I'm worried about because he's completely unmarked. Goes for a second one, which they take short. But Arala gets that ball and gives it away immediately. Cool. Good work, mate. Good work. Healy goes some distance. I will genuinely abandon the fight back if I just think it makes my team more moronic. My only problem then is I have loaned out all my wide midfielders. Arala, on the volley. Doesn't get the follow-up, and actually we're in a spot of bother here, because Erhan's messed that one up as well. Bayliss gets to that ball first, thankfully. House does find Bailey Cadamarteri. Finds it. Oh, that's a good ball to House again. That's 1-1. I appreciate your eagerness to pick up the ball and run back to the centre circle, but we are still in the first half, mate. That's a really good ball. Selfless as well. The amount of times I've obviously seen Cadamarteri just smash the ball as soon as he's got it. Actually makes the extra pass this time. Option 3, if I did go to a fullback, would be, I think, a three cam system, maybe? I certainly would have to do a diamond at worst, just because I don't have those wide players anymore. But Ben House can play cam, and obviously Bayliss and all that jazz play cam. Naturally, just play cam. I'm actually a little bit lacking in just raw centre mids. I only truly have McGrandles and Hamilton in that department. Oof. And probably the last action of this half as Tariqa comes forward. In fact, it might actually get called at the halfway line here. It will. Didn't make enough of that before we got to time. It is 1-1. This would be a good point, frankly. I'm still seeing questionable defending, but at least we put the ball in the net this time. Miller finds Kane. Kane finds Karoma. Karoma, good ball back to Healy. O'Connor in the way. And then aimlessly who forward? Do I have to put you on short passing, lads? Because, well, we've got away with that one, but still falls into Huddersfield possession. Once more gets in the way of that. Bayliss makes a good run. House, never mind. I'm not a big fan of this Huddersfield attack because they're just running through us. That explains why I'm not happy with that. I mean, both of those goals they've scored have been absolutely defendable. But it's just jogging alongside him. What is he doing? It's actually Erhan that's next to him. It's not the defender. We've got one defender on his left and then the defensive midfielder on the other side. Where's Monsmer in that equation? Good ball to House. Cadamarteri. It's gone from range. That's a goal. And life imitates art in this case. Or art imitates life. To get it the correct way around. He did this in real life. Maybe not exactly that, but it's a goal at Huddersfield for Cadamarteri. And it's a heck of a goal. I mean, that's goal of the season so far as well. We've not had a huge amount to go for, but Cadamarteri versus Huddersfield, that's definitely on the list. 2 minutes later, we're back on level terms again. Kane. Tariq was in the way of that twice. Interesting ball forward. Yep. That's when I wish I had Makama there. 6'5" would have helped so much better. Oh, we've mugged off Jeffries there, unfortunately. But Ruffin's in the way. House collects the ball. And Ashley goes back to them. But Jeffries gets that one. Cadamarteri. Oh, good ball roll. Got away from the defender there. I think he's probably going to go for it himself. Being a bit more selfless would have been helpful there, Bailey. Karoma's off, which is a good thing for us. Bailey's to put this ball in. House. Erhan turns. Oh, why did you not shoot yourself there, my friend? Back to Bayliss. Erhan on the edge of the box. Good. Interesting pass to Bailey. He's turned. He's got the space. It's over. Oh, that's Tariqa off for Hamer as well. I've had to take Monsmer off. He was knackered. Which probably explains where he was for their second goal. Resting. Hamer nicks that ball immediately. That's a great first contribution. Erhan has Arala in support. Jeffries is making the run. Oh, that was nearly another excellent goal. House puts the ball back in for some reason. Jeffries is there. What are we doing? Arala's turn. That's good. I just realised we had to change the camera because of the auto switch I did there. I'll say if we come away with a point here, I'll absolutely take it. Ward. Oh, he's done our defender in there. Don't tempt fate. 3 strikers, 3 goals. Chroma, Healy and Nell Ward all on the score sheet for them. All been fairly similar finishes. They've all got into similar position-ish. Respective sides, but all intensely questionable defending. And now we've got to come from behind again. Makama. Oh, that's a great ball in. House. Oh, what? Anywhere but there. Erhon. Bayliss. Good ball to Hamilton. House again. Great save from Nichols. Still announcing the substitutions as we put this ball in from Erhon. Not under it. Bayliss. Hamilton. No. I mean, at the very least, we've shown fight in this game, which we didn't against Mansfield, really. We had a few chances, but they never really felt threatening. Oh, well, that's just weird. Aimless who forward? Not a fan of that. What are my defenders doing? It was better when it was a high line, I think. Because now they just, as soon as they get vaguely close, wander away from the ball. O'Connor finds Bayliss. That's Erhan. Good first time pass. That's Ruffin. I don't know what he's doing there. That's a foul. Holds our attack for the time being. That's a terrible decision. That's an insane goal. Is that the 4th striker as well? Is that Maribel? Show me the back of his shirt for the love of God. It is. That's all 4 strikers. What a ridiculous goal. I mean, that's goal of the season against us. And well, it's impossible from here, really. 87 minutes on the clock to get 2 back. We need to do 2 consecutive attacks, pretty much. Good turn from Bayliss, though. Still with him. Early gets in the way. I might need to check the footedness of my midfielders. I might be able to optimise that midfield better. It was on the cons list for this particular formation and tactic. It did worry that we might have a bit of a disconnected front line. I am finding too many hopeful balls forward. I feel like there does need to be more of a connect between that midfield and that striking line. I have put the advance forward on support for the last 30 minutes, and it has seen Ben House be a little bit more involved, just being that little bit deeper. But really, I need those 2 strikers to stay further forward. I need the midfielders to be a bit further connected, or at least wide players more. Oh God, it's 5-2. Oh, that was offside, was it? Couldn't even bother to give me that replay. Oh, we started well, but that's gone immediately to pot. But I need to work out how to fix this defence first and foremost. This will help, as Ben House gets advance forward ++. That's just cut about Terry, who's actually up to 66. Felt slightly better. The defenders were ball watching, but this is what I was running with at the time. Just because I'm not really showing this too much. We've been all over the place. We were as high as 5th, I think, at one point. But we're back down to 19th, which isn't great. Peterborough, 23rd, blimey. That being said, we did lose to 3rd and 4th today. I'm pretty certain we've already lost to Bolton, was it? Lost to Birmingham and the Bristol Street Motors, of course. Oh, no, it was Wigan that we lost to, of course. A busy month of October will definitely be more simulated games. We'll obviously simulate MK Dons in the BSM, as much as I'd love to beat them. I kind of feel like it's important to maybe do the next game just to see if we can make the tactical tweaks that make this tick. But if I can't find any form with a 5-back over the course of October, then I'm going to have to abandon it, because I think there's just something about 3 defenders that makes the AI not defend properly, because it was a problem with Luton as well last time we tried this on last year's game. There's only 3 games in November right now, and 2 of them are Wrexham and Birmingham, blimey. So we could always leave the Crawley game at the end of the month to fold in with those ones, because then December would be busy again, of course, after that. In fact, that could be the play. We'll do Wrexham, Birmingham and Bolton in that particular episode, with Leyton Orient and Crawley simulated, which will effectively leave us with 6 games here, but one of them is the BSM, which is always going to be simulated. So we'll pick 2 games out of this lot to simulate. Actually, genuinely, it could be the Shrewsbury and Burton home games, because I feel like Charlton away, Reading away, and Wickham at home, they're the 3 big ones. No offence to Shrewsbury and Burton fans, but they're not having great seasons in real life, Shrewsbury or Burton, although Shrewsbury did just beat Lincoln in real life in what was a depressing performance from Lincoln. I saw that one in its entirety. That's probably about right. I think that's what we'll probably do. We'll probably do 3 played games per episode going forward, with as many simulated around them as we can get away with. But still yet to really find our feet with the tactic here, and it shows 8 points from the first couple of months, 19th in the table. It's not a great start. Our first live win. It's nice you get to see one at last. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, you know the deal by now. You know what to do. Until next time, ta-ra.